Hi everybody, thank you for joining. Your time is precious, we know that. You're probably busier than ever before, so thank you for investing some time with us today. My name is Dominic Dinardo, I'm the CEO of Aforza, and together with my good friend and colleague Nick Eales, we're going to talk to you about omnichannel promotion execution and why that's important and why taking control of it can be incredibly important to your business. Now, before we get into all the content, let me just spend a few words explaining who Aforza is. Forza is an industry cloud company. We're completely dedicated to consumer goods. What that means is we build software for food, beverages, all CG companies, all in the cloud, all mobile, that help you take your products to market from planning, visiting, selling, delivering. We're built on the shoulders of two cloud computing giants, Salesforce, best CRM platform in the world, in my professional opinion, and the Goliath, which is Google's cloud computing platform for a lot of number crunching. Lots of mobile applications, we'll be showing this later, built on Apple and Android technologies. And so what we're doing really is we're doing everything from retail execution, trade promotion management, even digital asset management now is needed in the 21st century. All around the world, offline mobile applications. It's technology that can be implemented rapidly. So for example, we have customers like on the screen right now, Mountain Source, who are a small company, but we're able to go live in 2 weeks. And other companies like, mega companies like Distel, who are, a international company operating across Africa, UK, Far East and beyond, they're able to roll out hundreds and hundreds of users in 6 months. And they're using, the reason why this is possible, and we'll talk about this later on, is because using our out-of-the-box solutions for all the capabilities I've been describing. So, well, you'll see in this presentation, we'll explain why and how this helps. But let's get into the subject at hand and talk about the context that we find ourselves in today. And probably, how will I preface this? Let me tell you something you probably already know, but let me just really bring it home, right? We're living in extraordinary times. We're dealing with, I'm sure this is true all around the world, incredible inflationary pressures, right? Like we see it everywhere. It's been exasperated by supply chains, by many things, right? Pandemics and other world events. We're also dealing with increasing regulation and, if I may say so, unpredictability, if that's a word. The non-predictable nature of whether these regulations are coming in or not and how they will be applied. It could be everything from high-fat sugars and salts, better for you foods, or it could be about how we're going to handle the returns of bottles and how that is going to be structured across different states or different countries, or lots of complexity there. And some of this stuff is coming in randomly, quickly or not, and well, and of course, as always, competitive pressures never stop, right? Like this is an industry with incredible, it's a funny thing, consumer goods, because there are so many decades or centuries old products of high quality and brands, and yet it is a world full of innovation, and new entrants are there all the time. So it's very, very vibrant. But I think it's today, we're doing this webinar in June 2022. There is an unprecedented level of disruption facing everybody that we have to deal with. And there's a great piece actually in Consumer Goods Technology. Lisa Johnson put this together. I'm sure you can find it on the web, actually really easy if you just Google Lisa and CG Technology. But as you would expect, and I'm sure many of you are seeing this already, consumers are starting to notice the price changes, right? And food, gas, petrol prices, all that stuff is going up a lot. We all know that. We all see that. We see that as consumers ourselves every day. We're all thinking about it. And, a lot of people now, it's not something which they easily take in their stride of like an annoyance that they just deal with. That's now starting to affect people's behaviour. This is the key message. People are starting to change behaviour. And in fact, the graphic on the right of the slide here, consumer behaviour are changing. Like it's a great graphic if you go find the original report, right? It's interactive, you see it. But I'll just tell you, 28% of consumers now are actively seeking promotions. All right, so this is definitely something which is happening. I'm sure everyone is conscious of it, and it's a consequence of many of the things we were just talking about with those pressures. So what does it mean? Well, it means if you're not careful, rising prices. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It means if you're not careful now, all these things, the rising prices, supply chain problems, staffing shortages that are going on, those events are happening, start to drive your behaviour. And if you're not careful, price rises ultimately becomes an increase you pass to consumers. It's inevitable. But you find your consumers now getting a bias towards finding the cheaper product they can, and your rate of sale will be impacted. Or supply chain problems, for example, and other delivery bottlenecks you're going to face. The consequence of this is that you're going to find, limited availability, potential out of stock issues, just challenging getting the products to the right place. I mean, look, I'll just tell you what you already know. If I want to buy a tube of toothpaste and I need to buy toothpaste and I can't find my regular brand, I'll look for the next best thing because I'm going to buy toothpaste, right? So, it's just ultimately that's a brand loyalty thing because I'm quite particular in my habits. Like, there's certain things I like to do, and if I can't, fulfill that, I will find another way to resolve the problem. And staffing shortages. Staffing shortages is a tricky one, right? Because I think it's something that everybody faces, and it goes beyond consumer goods. I'm in the technology industry. I see it myself as well, right? It goes beyond, but the consequence of this and the impact of it is not only do you have all these other challenges that are wrapped up together in this perfect storm of horribleness, but also there's all the things that are less like the under the surface issues, the morale, staff attrition issues, challenging work environment for everybody else. It all becomes this negative consequential impact. This is what can happen to you if you're not in control, if you don't have the chance to actually drive all this back. Now, in consumer goods, it's full of really smart people who have been grappling with many of these challenges, maybe not to the extent that we see them today, but they've been grappling with these challenges for years and years. And there are many different disciplines, processes, points of expertise out there in the industry and solutions to fill them. And there's like a smorgasbord, a plethora of stuff out there from everything from pricing solutions to compensation plans, audits. You can see the whole list here sort of dotted about the place. I talked to one beverage company recently where they told me that they were looking at Aforza's promotion tools, and they said that they have a guy in their company who's indispensable because he's the promotion guru and nobody else really understands how it all works. And he was talking about how elegant and easy it was before. But it was amazing to me, we're talking about an instance of a company of many hundreds of millions of dollars. There's one guy who understands it. At one point of failure in this plethora of stuff, right? And so it's hard for you to drive control when you're in this environment, right? What you want to do and what Forza brings to this is if you have all this stuff is like the structure and pre-integrated nature of the solution and all the modules mean there's a structured approach for you to face this and to actually interact with your go-to-market organizations and ultimately how your products are placed in front of the consumer. And I think the one thing I want to actually say, mustn't forget to say on this slide, and do it in real time. Because all those things and challenges I was talking about before, they're happening by the day, not by the week or the month or things. So things are flip-flopping all over the place all the time. And you need to develop the competencies, the expertise. We know that I'm probably talking this webinar to, maybe a couple of hundred industry experts right now who are all very, very good at this. But are we all good at it in real time? Have we actually got the tools to understand what's happening immediately and be able to take actions? So I think the real time part, it's not just the connectiveness, it's actually the ability to do it quickly, and not have to wait months to get data and to respond to something that happened, 3 months ago, back in April or something. So how do you take control with a Forza? The three things here we've said. The first thing is you want to get ahead of the market events before they become an issue. I've just started to lead into that already. One of the things we're doing, of course, is we're dealing with everything in real time. So we understand as things happen and can make decisions about the consequences of what we're learning from what's happening in the market, whether when we see a competitive entrant, whether it's a small niche problem or a large one, and be able to gauge that and to take remedial actions to deal with it like pretty quickly. When you want to put in rapidly sales and promotion strategies in place to address these events, think about the CGT data. We know more and more people are looking for promotions. We need to get ahead of that. How do we know that it's going to go up. We know people are going to be more and more challenged. What are we doing to address it day by day? And how can are our systems able to give us that fine level of control? This is the kind of thing we're doing. And then I think that consistent execution, omni-channel. Like if I say to you, hey, look, if you want to buy from Forza and you buy from our website, or you call up our chat in our telesales team, or you meet one of my sales members in the field, would you expect to get the same price? Would you expect to have a very consistent commercial experience? And when we think about how this is done today, and the idea that you might get different prices for the same product from the same company on different channels, it's kind of mad. You might deliberately have a strategy of a discount here or there everywhere, but that's okay. But are you doing that because it's a proactive strategy, or are you doing it because you just can't do it any other way? So I think consistent omnichannel execution in the 21st century, it's just obvious. I think if you're not doing that, you have to assume that you're behind everybody. You're behind the capabilities that everybody else is trying to do. So I think it's kind of a key thing. So I've spoken enough. Time to see it and to understand it. So I'm going to hand over to my good colleague here, Nick Eales, our Chief Product Officer. He's going to show you how you can take back control. I'll be back in a few moments, and enjoy the demo. Nick, over to you.
Thank you, Dominic, and thank you everyone for joining us here on the webinar today. I'm going to take you through 3 brief demonstrations to show you how you take back control and really get ahead of the competition and ahead of all of these different market conditions that we're seeing today. I'm going to take you through an analytics piece to show you how you analyze in real time what's happening in the market. I'm then going to show you planning and how you strategize based on those insights that you've just seen. And then I'm going to show you the execution piece, how you take all that planning and actually deploy it to your field teams and your telesales teams so that they can execute these strategies and these plans in real time. So we're going to start the demonstration in our analytics piece. Before you can go and take back control, you really have to understand what's happening and have a really good insight as to what needs to be done to fix the situation. So we're logged into Aforza and we're looking at our Southeast Retail Planning Dashboard. So this is a dashboard we've created for planning against accounts in our Southeast region. And the very first thing we're looking at is our joint business planning approach with this group of accounts in this region. So you can see we're actually not doing too great right now. We've only completed about 41% of our objectives. And if I start looking into the individual objectives, I can see our revenue targets are way down. We're not executing the visits that we should be doing. And we're not increasing our volume. If anything, our volume sold is actually down on last year. And to top it all off, we are not running the promotions we should be running. We're trying to target 50 promotions in this region, but we've only run 17. And this might be a clue as to why our volume sold is down and why our revenue is down. But to get into the details, let's take a look at the sales data and see if that provides any more insight. So the sales data is based on real-time information we have in our sell-out and our sell-in data, and it's all combined here for us on this dashboard. And if we scroll down, we can see that our sales target, which we've got here, is not being met or being hit by the vast majority of our SKUs. In fact, we can even see an alert that's been singled out here on the soft drink brand that's telling us that our quantity and our total value price is completely down as to where it should be for this time of year. So this is really worrying. And this really brings us back to what Dominic was saying earlier about consumers being a lot more price conscious and really wanting to drill into those promotions and to use those promotions to save themselves money. Now, given that we're not running the promotions we should be, and given that our volumes and our sales quantity are down, I think it's a really good idea for us to start coming up with some more price-sensitive promotions that we can deploy to this region to help elevate our sales volumes. Before we do that though, we probably want to take a look at our stock levels to make sure we've got the stock to run those promotions. So here on my inventory planning, I can see that actually we've got a good amount of stock across all of our different SKUs. They're not in the out of stock warning area yet, and we are good to go with generating a new promotion. So this is looking at the entire region, and we're looking at how the sales performance and our objectives are being met in that region. What if I wanted to look at a single account or a group of accounts? I can very quickly and easily drill down into one of my key accounts. In this case, I'm looking at the Fresh Start shop in the southeast. And on here, I get account-specific insights. So here on the very first page, I can see our sales volume growth is down by 15%. It's not actually growing at all. Our revenue target is minus 22,000, so we're nowhere near where we need to be. And to top it all off, we know our competitors are in that group of shops. They're extremely prominent, and they are a massive threat to us. And we're only running one promotion at that particular outlet. So this all matches all of that regional data I was looking at. When I've drilled down, I'm getting that same picture at the outlet or the group of outlet level. So why is it we're getting this trouble at the specific outlet? Well, if I go to the segment, I can start to see information about this specific outlet. I can see, for instance, if they're compliant with promotions, what our relationship is like. But really importantly, I can also see the demographic that shops there of our consumers. And in the demographic, I can see that they are price sensitive. Now, this is obviously a key area of focus for us. The consumers are price sensitive. They're not buying our regular SKUs. They're looking for promotions. We're not running promotions. So we've got a big issue there. And to confirm that, if I look at my promotions tab for this account, we can see we've only got some generic promotions. We've got our nationwide discounts. We got a couple of seasonal promotions that are running every year. But there's nothing really here that's targeting specific SKUs or this price sensitivity we are seeing in the market. So based on those insights and based on the analytics, I think we have a strategy we need to employ. We need to build some new promotions. We need to target our price sensitive customer base, and we need to make sure that we are covering the SKUs that are underperforming. So let's go ahead and jump into the next demonstration where I can show you how we tackle that piece of the puzzle. So we've just seen all those insights and we have a strategy formulated, but how do we go about making that plan a reality? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my promotion planning dashboard. And this calendar shows us absolutely everything we're running in a promotion context for our business this year. And what we want to do is create some really quick, new price sensitive promotions that we can start deploying to the correct Southeast region. So to do that, I can simply go into my promotion calendar and I can see my product catalog here on the right. And I can see all the different SKUs and categories that I might want to promote. Now, I know that the soft drinks area was an area that was vastly underperforming in our dashboard. So I'm going to start by creating a promotion for that. So I can simply drag and drop this onto the calendar. And when I drop it, it gives me this promotion modal. And this is where I can really quickly and easily create my new promotion. So I'm going to call this the 50% off soft drinks promotion. And I could target this to specific accounts or specific groups of accounts. But what I'm going to do is target a segment. And this lets me target very granular groups of our customer base with this promotion. So I've got a price sensitive segment here, which I've set up previously, and I'm now going to target all of my price sensitive customers. So anyone that you see of that price sensitive attribute is now going to be a target for this promotion. I'm going to run this promotion for the entire year, and I can see my soft drinks have already been added to it. But in terms of tactics, I want to do a 50% off because I think this is going to really help us move our volume that we're looking to and start generating that revenue. I'm going to add that to the promotion, and I can simply click add to calendar, and that promotion is now created. And as long as it's approved by the correct people, it's now live to use in the field. So here it is on the calendar. I can click into it and I can see that SKU that I've added, or that category I've added in this case, and I can see the 50% tactic, and I can see the date and time we're running it from. If I want to get more detail, I can click into the promotion, and this will open up the designer view. And this is where you can start making changes and adjustments if you want to add some additional content to it. So for instance, if I click edit, I can see that I've got this group here of my soft drinks, and I'm going to call this the 50% off soft drinks group. But I might want to also sweeten the deal and throw in maybe branded gondola to combat the competitive threat that we've seen and to really get our branding up there in the different outlets. So I'm going to call this the free gondola. And we are going to say every customer gets one of these for free. So I'm going to put one of each, and then I'm going to put a 100% off discount so the customer gets this for free. So if our retailer signs up for this promotion, if they then start purchasing the soft drinks at the 50% discount, which they can pass on to the consumers, they're going to be able to get one of our free gondolas, which we can dictate is put into central location in the store. I'm going to set this to approved. And as quick as that, it's now ready to go. Now, of course, there's other stuff we could do here. If we wanted to, for instance, add some content or some digital assets to here, so maybe some brochures or some floor plans, we can simply drag and drop these into the promotion, and this will add those planograms, those brochures, and all the other digital content you might want to make available to your field teams so that they have that ready at their fingertips when they're in the field talking to the customers. So let's take a look. We've created this promotion. Well, how does that actually affect our accounts in that Southeast region? If I go back to my account page that I was looking at before, so the Fresh Start Shop Southeast, here on that promotion calendar, you can see the same promotions we saw before. But now if I refresh that, we're going to see that new 50% off soft drinks promotion available to this customer because of that price sensitivity attribute that we previously saw on them. So just like that, this account and all of the price sensitive accounts in the Southeast are now available to start selling and using this promotion. So that's fantastic, but how do we get it into their hands? How do we get the field team actually executing this? Well, the first step really is to get them planning their visits. So here on my visit planning tab, I have a series of different options and solutions I can use to start pushing this promotion out and pushing similar things out to my field teams. The first thing I can do is create specific pre-built visit guides. So for instance, I have a price sensitivity visit guide here. And if I look at that, it's basically a step-by-step set of instructions for conducting a price-sensitive visit with an outlet, collecting the right information, making sure they see the right promotions, and completing the visit. So this is great. We can push this to our teams. We also have our routes where you can actually start generating your step-by-step routes. And then we have our visit agenda. And this is where I'm going to target Sophie Sales, our primary sales manager, with the correct set of visits. So here on my routes, I can see my Southeast route. I'm going to drag and drop this onto Sophie. And when I do that, it's going to create all the different visits in that Southeast region that we need to execute, including visiting the Fresh Start Shop Southeast. And for each of these visits, it's going to give them a unique set of tasks that they need to do. And I can see here on my Fresh Start Shop, it's given us the price sensitive visit. So it knows that this customer is price sensitive. It's given us a bit of extra time with them to make sure that these price sensitive consumers are given the right promotions and the right pieces of merchandise in that store to make them purchase. And we can see all the tasks that have been laid out for us, including that price sensitive visit guide. So now that we've created the promotion, we've created that price sensitive visit guide, and we've deployed the visits using routes to our field teams, we can actually go about seeing how the team executes this in the field. So let me swap over to demonstration number 3, where we can start going through that. Okay, we've analyzed, we've planned, and now it's time to take back control by executing these plans in the field. So what we're looking at here is the Aforza retail execution application for your field sales teams and your merchandisers. And this lets them go into a store and execute all of the strategies that we formulated back in HQ. It's available on Android and iOS on tablets and phones, and it's 100% offline, so it works even in those situations when you're stuck in the back of a warehouse or in a stock room and you have no connection. So here I am logged in as Sophie Sales, our sales manager that we were looking at earlier, and we can see all of those visits that have been planned for me. And I can see the second visit here is to that Fresh Start Shop Southeast. And if I click into that, I get prompted to check in, and then I can see all the tasks I need to complete as part of that visit. So I need to do things like check the promotion compliance, what's already there, survey those competitor offerings because I know there's a high competitive threat there, capture an order, and then start reviewing the merchandise and do an audit on our stock levels. So all of those things that were predated to me and given to me as part of that price-sensitive visit execution guide. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to capture an order. This is where we're going to start executing that promotion strategy. I'm going to start that order. So on the order screen, I can see all of my SKUs available for this customer. I can see the prices, the stock levels. I can see things like the unit of measure, any discounts they get, and special offers. But what I'm really interested in today, because we know the SKUs are not really performing, is to go straight to the promotions tab. And the promotions tab is where I can see all of the individual promotions available for this specific outlet. So I can see we've got those nationwide discounts, the summer heatwave bundle, but more importantly, we've now got that new 50% off soft drinks promotion that we can talk about with this customer, and we can hopefully get on their shelves today. So I can simply click add on that promotion, and I can see those two different groups that I set up earlier as a planner. I can see the 50% off soft drinks and then the free gondola. And I can simply click into the 50% off soft drinks, and I can add as many on here as I like. And as soon as I've finished selecting how many soft drinks I'd like, I can confirm that. Again, it confirms the promotion, it gives me that gondola, and then I can add the promotion to the cart. When it's in the cart, I can edit it, I can add additional things to the cart, but what I'll eventually do is just go to that complete screen and have the customer enter any notes for the delivery, view the invoice, collect payment if I need to, and then eventually capture that customer signature so we can go ahead and confirm that order in the system and it gets checked off our list. So that is true execution, from planning the promotion online to it flowing down to your field teams automatically, available for them to use in real time. And now that I've captured that order, that will get pushed back into the system. So all of those analytics, all those insights I saw right at the start are going to get updated in real time. So we're going to see immediate impact on how that promotion is affecting our sell-in data. And then as we get the retailers sending out their sell-out data, that will also get pushed back into the system. So you're no longer having to wait weeks or months to really understand what's happening. You can see it in real time as your field team is executing and controlling the situation. But it's not just your field teams. This also works on your other channels. So if I swap over and show you the telesales experience, this is where your remote teams might be calling in to customers, or customers might be calling you. And here you get a very, very similar experience. You get the exact same product catalog with the same products in here that you can add one by one if you like. But we also have that promotions tab, and we can see the same promotions. We have our 50% off soft drinks promotion. And just like in the field experience, the mobile experience, I can go in, I can add this promotion, increasing the quantities as needed for this particular outlet, and add that to the shopping cart as well. This also works in e-commerce. It works through EDI integrations. So this gives you that full omni-channel execution capability from one planning interface. So that was the third demonstration. Hopefully within those three, you've seen how we can analyze in real time what's happening in the market. We can then use that to come up with a strategy, to come up with a plan, and then easily create that plan by using the drag and drop tools that Aforza gives you, and then using all of that, going in and taking back control by executing the plans in the field in this one end-to-end platform that we give you. So with that, I will say thank you, and I'll hand it back over to my co-host Dominic to take you through the rest of the presentation. So thank you very much, and Dominic, back over to you.
Brilliant, thank you, Nick. I know this is our own stuff, but I just get a sense of pride. I'm very, very proud of what Nick and the team have built for the company and for all of our customers and our partners. It does get me fired up every time. Let's recap. What did you just see, right? We saw how we can understand market events and get ahead of them before they become really significant issues. We see this ability to be proactive, right? We saw how Nick is able to put rapidly sales strategies in place, promotions in place, and able to actually have them execute in the field quickly. And we also saw it was omnichannel. Didn't matter if it was mobile, didn't matter if it was online, doesn't matter if it's telesales, It's a consistent commercial experience. Really, really important. It's just the way business wants to be done these days. Now, what I would go on to say then is for those who do this, those people who take control, they achieve even greater success. And this is borne out by statistics from McKinsey and others. McKinsey say that 70% of promotions are not profitable. And I think that going into this year, that number's probably, those numbers, the 70% is actually, if I remember correctly, a 2019 number. It's like a pre-pandemic number. I'm pretty sure going into this year, that number's not improving, right? So, being able to fix that is significant, right? Going back to the same sources before, consumer goods technology say that there's a potential for 25% uplift in your revenue from better in-store sales execution. And the stats go on. So, how do you do it? And it's all about taking that control, okay? It's kind of the key thing. Now, with Aforza, one of the things we do these webinars, by the way, once a quarter, and many people, we're now average about 200 people for this kind of thing. Again, thanks for joining, and I hope you're finding this as stimulating as some of the prior ones. But we do it every quarter, and we do the demonstrations and things all the time, really because we're innovating all the time. My job and my team, we're technologists. We're dedicated to consumer goods, to food, to beverage. But we're technologists, and we're always listening, learning, ideation, lots of things we do all the time. And we're able to deliver that in the form of, to all of our customers and partners, the form of new releases of the software, every 3 or 4 months. So we do 3 releases a year. And we're currently on, well, let me just check the slide here. I'm losing track now. We're number 9, right? And you can see like the rate of innovation is prodigious. It's prodigious. And it's an amazing opportunity for partnering. All of our customers are telling us stuff all the time. We're always listening, and we're always innovating and building to the solution. And the upgrades that customers get every 3 or 4 months, those are smooth and seamless. They don't break anything. They don't break like integration points or anything like this. And so the customers are never left behind. This is an important point because in the old days of consumer goods, when people tried to put in different types of sales and promotional technology, people installed it and it was like there for years. Like some of the customers we talk to have got stuff that's like 20 years old. And sales is really important. Sorry, did I just say that? I mean, it's kind of obvious. Like you've got this expensive sales and marketing organization. Why would you leave them with stuff that's 20 years old? And people joining your industry today, they've grown up with like modern technology. Yeah, so that rate of innovation is important. Never been left behind. Never been left with an expensive maintenance nightmare of custom-built nonsense that you really wish you weren't stuck on. It's really important, and that's why forming partnerships that give you this innovation is a really differentiating that idea. It's why software as a service, quite candidly, is a superior business model, superior technology model, superior value model for customers, and particularly in consumer goods. Okay, so there's we've got a few customers now all over the place, all around the world. Companies like Alchemas in Belgium, White Mackay from my hometown, Glasgow in Scotland, from Wowtech in Germany, and all over the world actually, all over the place. And let me highlight a few particular examples of customers taking back control. Companies like Distel, we mentioned them earlier, hundreds of users around the world now. And actually, if you Google Distel Consumer Goods Technology, it's a great case study from a wonderful man called Craig Price, where he talks about how it was the first time Distel were able to do full-blown promotion execution end-to-end with his own sales team. It was really powerful. Companies like Mountain Source, great wee company doing apparel in Colorado in the United States. Or Brewdog, really disruptive, challenger brand, very well known in the United Kingdom, but now increasingly in the United States and all around the world with their bars and even hotels and more popping up that they're using us now. So I think these thematically, the thing that all these people do, because they've all got particular business challenges and nuances of what I've been talking about in this webinar, but thematically, it's all about their ability to take control and execute, right? It's just always the same thing. Yeah, right. One thing actually, I forgot, probably should have mentioned this earlier, and that's really good is that we've, for the first time in Forza's young history, we decided to contact the excellent Promotion Optimization Institute, another interesting industry analyst body that, and kind of like might describe it a bit of a club for industry veterans, actually, a good organisation. Yeah, I recommend you check them out. We entered their analysis process for the first time, and we're really proud that we came back with 3 distinctions for analytics, desktop user UX, and predictive AI ML. You can see the quotes on the screen. And actually, if you are interested to learn about Forza and how it was evaluated by this independent body, drop us a line. We can send you a copy of the report, yeah, and introduce you to the POI folks, yeah. So we're really proud about that, and it's a really good validation point for the company and for our product. So actually, if I could call out to my own people, thanks to the engineering and engagement teams that actually got us this accreditations. So, how do you take back control today? How do you do it? Well, there's a few things we want to suggest as a next step. Very lightweight, easy for you to do. We have these guided tours that you can take in particular areas: retail execution, key account management, and trade promotions. You can see the links on the slide, or actually you can also find them on our website, or we can email you them afterwards. But what you can do with these is, what's great about them is you can do it yourself. You don't even have to talk to us. You don't have to talk to our sales teams or anybody. It's completely within your control. You can start the link. Sorry, I should say, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love you to talk to our sales teams. But if you would want to take a baby step and maybe just get a better sense of this before you that, and inform yourself and actually put your hands on the technology a bit yourself, with these guided tours, you can click through them and at your own pace, and it helps you use the application. But it tells you, click here and you'll see this value point, and it gives you a sense of control for yourself. So it's self-paced, and you can take your time, go as quickly or as slowly as you wish. You could do it in a few minutes, or you could really take some time to digest it. Highly recommend doing that. It's very, very user-friendly. Don't be intimidated by it. And with that, I just want to say in conclusion, look, I know how busy people are, and we genuinely appreciate your time. So thank you for investing with us. I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A before we wrap. So just give me a few moments to try and reconfigure myself now so I can actually see the Q&A, and we'll do some live questions before I completely close the webinar. 1 second, please.